All right, guys. Hopefully, you guys are doing well, and I'm going to take a little time to go through this free enterprise PowerPoint. We've looked at economic systems and looked at communism, socialism a little bit, and free enterprise. And obviously, for the rest of the semester, we'll talk about free enterprise system, capitalism, what you and I are accustomed to. So we'll go through here and kind of look at this. And I think I had this continuum you see on the screen. I think I had this on a previous PowerPoint as far as government involvement within economic systems. And again, communism's on the far left, pure competition on the far right. And again, we'll focus on capitalism, free enterprises. And you see there that's going to be to the right of center there. United States, Japan are great examples of that. So that's a good visual, kind of let you know where the spectrum is as far as economic systems are concerned, and where we'll be talking about the free enterprise system today. So, going through philosophers, I think maybe tomorrow you guys will see a couple of ed puzzles on Frederick Hayek and Adam Smith. There's a couple other philosophers that we'll see later on down the road, but for right now, these guys were big time free market, free economists, not free economists, but free market uh, believers in their beliefs and how the economy should be run. Again, limited role of government, if at any laissez-faire mentality of hands off by the government, and let the law of supply and demand, the consumers, um, have an impact on what goes in our economy. So you'll see those two guys probably on a ed puzzle tomorrow. In our economic system, free enterprise system, again, we're going to say we're free enterprise, but guys, I'm going to be honest with you, we are a mixed economy because we do have some government control, and thankfully so, to protect our food. You see FDA there, OSHA, EPA, and guys, there's so many more of these alphabet agencies out there that are there to regulate and oversee the stock market and all kinds of things out there in our economy to protect the American consumer. So when you get a recall, say on your vehicle, well, those car manufacturers are not the ones who actually do that. There's actually an oversight that says, hey, we've had too many problems with this. They'll let those companies know, hey, you must have recall on that airbag or whatever it may be to again protect the consumers who've bought those cars. So again, thankfully, we do have some government regulations, and those of you that hunt and fish, we have regulations on how many fish you can catch, how many animals you can kill, does, bucks like that. When you're talking deer hunting, how many dove, how many, again, salt water, how many different fish you can take. So that's all regulates and protects our food supply that we deal with. So anyway, there's definitely a need for that because unfortunately we've got people who will pretty selfish and will take it upon themselves to destroy or do whatever they want to. And unfortunately, I've seen a few of those cases in the news today. So anyway, government control we'll talk about. Let me go on to benefits of a free enterprise system there. Freedom of consumers, you and I, we can do what we want. We can go buy, we can purchase, we can own land, and open our own businesses, whatever we want to do, own our capital, whatever it may be, we can do that. And that is what's great about free enterprise system and being entrepreneurs and doing what you want to do. You have freedom. There's incentives to work hard because why? Well, I want to be successful. I want to make money. And again, that is definitely an incentive to work hard. But you and I can buy what we want, what we need through voluntary exchange of goods, and obviously spend money and do that. So you see there on the screen the factors of production again: land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship. Um, and those we've already talked about. But that's just a simple little review for you there on factors of production. But we do have freedom as consumers, freedom of producers. You and I can produce what we want to. You need to make sure you're producing things that the people in your region or a community are wanting. Otherwise, you're not going to be in business very long. But again, we respond. Producers are going to respond to consumer demand. Whatever consumers are wanting or whatever consumers are buying, those producers will produce. And that's, again, the free enterprise system. Let's go on to, let's see there. Whoops, I'm sorry about that. My clicker didn't work. Variety of goods, competition. Tons of competition, guys. You go down there. If I told you to go grocery store, hey, go give me a box of cereal, you're going to say, what kind? Well, because we have unlimited amounts of competition. Same way with chips, bread, drinks, you name it, tons of competition. Some economies, especially your command economies, there's no competition. The government owns it all, and there's no uh, really choice of what to buy. You have to buy what is there and what is produced by that government. So we again have an unlimited amount of competition, which is a great thing about competition. It helps keep prices down. We like low prices, and again, the more competition we have, the more those prices will be kept at a minimum. Okay. Responsive to prices, supply and demand. Prices respond to changes in supply and demand, signaling producers and directing resources to respond to consumer demand. Again, whatever is going on in our economy right now with the pandemic we're living in, you have a huge demand for masks and hand sanitizers, cleaning materials, things of that nature. Food has become a little scarce in some regards. And again, you find where some of our companies and industries are shifting their resources. Instead of producing what they normally produce, now they're producing hand sanitizer or masks or things of that nature to meet the need of the people, the demand of the people in health industries and wherever it may be. So again, sometimes you have to shift those resources to produce again what is in high demand. Unfortunately, during this time, we're definitely having to do that. And I know sometimes the bars and distilleries are out of business right now or not out of business, but they're closed. And so instead of completely closing, they're shifting what they're making, their product, and they're actually making hand sanitizer to help keep their head above water and make a living. So we talk a lot about that in the class, and just the shifting, and you saw it in World War II, the shifting of the economies to increase the number of jeeps and tanks and guns and ammunitions. The auto industry played a key role in shifting the production of cars into producing military products. And that is, again, what is in high demand is what will be produced. So anyway, just a little side note there. Investment opportunities, obviously, you and I have the ability to redirect and save and invest money to be rich one day, and you can obviously do that, but you must start investing early, and we'll talk about that down the road in economics for sure, because that is fun to talk about and kind of get your juices flowing a little bit about the importance of investing and starting it, and again, being wealthy one day. Creation of wealth, sales of goods, services, along with investment of profit, accumulation of wealth there, obviously free enterprise characteristic. And the last slide, or close to it here, rights and responsibility. Rights and responsibility, guys. We can work a lot or a little. Support yourself and your family. Sometimes we have an issue with that, unfortunately, in our society. But if you're going to have kids, you need to make sure you can afford those kids. Don't depend on other people to take care of you and your kids. And I know there's certain situations, but again, if you can't afford 8 kids, you should not be having 8 kids. That's just my personal opinion. Use your education wisely. And again, that means obviously go to school if you need to, but think about, ways in which you can save money with your education. Sometimes people go to big time 4-year schools and get, say, an education degree. Well, that same education degree could be gotten at a smaller school for thousands and thousands of dollars less money. So I know sometimes there may be a prestige with the school or this or that, but again, when you graduate with that diploma, sometimes that diploma doesn't represent really anything more than the degree that I may have gotten from a smaller school. So think about money, think about economics in that way, and saving money sometimes on your education. So, and the letter D, guys, I'll be honest with you, unfortunately, that's kind of hard in the world we live in my opinion. Electing responsible government officials, it's just, again, kind of hard, unfortunately, in our society that we live in. But do your research and think for yourself. And anyway, I won't go any more on that. So motivation, again, this is kind of like the free enterprise system. Again, you're either going to be the eater or you're going to be eaten in our economy. So you need to make sure you're willing to work and survive. You got to work your tail off. It's not easy, but you got to be willing to work, because if not, you're going to end up on the low end of the totem pole. Okay, and circular flow. You're going to see an Ed puzzle on this. I believe Thursday or Friday, I'm doing an Ed puzzle on the circular flow. You will see a test question on the circular flow. But again, how products go from household to businesses, resource market, product market, things like that. I just put this slide in here so you could see that. But anyway, I just wanted to go through this PowerPoint with you, and hopefully you get a little bit out of this PowerPoint, and it is there. And so hopefully you have a great day, guys.